As a photographer or as a photojournalist, we have to work with light. As we have learned that photography is writing with light. But sometimes we will find ourselves in circumstances and conditions when the light is not sufficient, it's not enough to get us a correct exposure. In such cases, when the light that exists around us is less, we need certain tools to help us. The flash is one such tool which is an essential part of a photographer's and a photojournalist's kit. A photojournalist has to have a flash with the camera when she or he goes out on assignments, so that if the ambient light is not enough, the flash can come to the rescue. Today, let's find out more about how to use the flash in photography and photojournalism. Mr. Desikan Krishnan is going to explain to us the different ways of how a flash can be used, a direct flash, a bounce flash, and how the various ways of using flash is going to impact your photographs. Do you want a photograph with harsh frontal lighting, or do you want a photograph with soft contours? Let's find out more from Mr. Krishnan.
Flash is the most important aid to photography. It is used in several ways, but the most important of its uses are when there is no light. It is used indoors to cover a function or a meeting. Now, what is the shutter speed you would use whenever you are using a flash? There is something known as the synchronization speed. What happens whenever you use a flash is, as soon as you press the shutter release button, the shutter opens, and then the flash goes off, and then the shutter closes. This is the sequence what happens when you use a flash. Now, the synchronization speed happens when the shutter is fully open. When the shutter is fully open, the flash should go off. Modern cameras, digital cameras have a synchronization speed of 1/250th or 1/125th. So, that is the fastest shutter speed at which the flash will synchronize. It will be marked in a different color. It is the fastest shutter speed at which the flash will synchronize. Now, if you use it at a faster shutter speed, then that you will get only 1/4 of the frame or half the frame exposed. For example, if the flash synchronization speed is given at 1/250th of a second, if you shoot at 1/500th of a second, only quarter of the frame will get exposed by the flash and 3/4 of the frame will be dark. When you use it at 1/1000th of a second, half the frame will be dark and half the frame will be lit by the flash. So, you should not use the flash at a faster shutter speed than what is given in your camera manual. At slower shutter speeds, it would sync. Supposing the synchronization speed is given as 1/250th, you could shoot at 1/125, 1/60, even up to 1 second. Yes, nothing will happen, it would synchronize, but it will not synchronize at a faster or a higher shutter speed. Now, flash is not only for shooting when there is no light, but it can also be used in daylight as a fill-in light. whenever you want to do a portrait or anything in daylight, there will be shadows. So, when you use a flash, it will reduce the shadows. Or when you are shooting against the light, if you use a flash, yes, you could clear the shadows, your picture would be all right. I am talking about a portrait. Now, the other way which you can use the flash is the bounce flash. When you are doing a portrait, when you are doing something close up, say from 5 feet or 8 feet, and in dark, when you want to use a flash, if you use a direct flash, the lighting will be very harsh and there will be shadows thrown on the wall behind or anywhere. Here you bounce the flash. Bouncing means pointing the flash at the ceiling. If it is say around ceiling is around 8 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, it would bounce, or pointing the flash at some white reflective surface. It could be a board, it could be a piece of cloth, it could be anything which would reflect the flash back on to the subject. That is the bounce flash. Now, your synchronization speed or your shutter speed for the flash is fixed. What would be your aperture? The aperture depends upon what is known as the guide number of the flash. The guide number is the intensity of the flash, which would be given by the camera manufacturer, by the flash manufacturer. Right. Now, let us say the flash manufacturer has given a guide number of 40. How will you arrive at the F number? You divide the guide number by the distance. Supposing you are 8 feet away from the subject, 40 divided by 8, you get 5. So, 5.6 would be your right aperture for that distance. Now, flashlight is not like daylight. Flashlight diminishes as it travels. So, if you are standing, you are shooting a subject at 5 feet and then at 10 feet and then at 15 feet, your shutter speed could remain the same, but your aperture will keep changing, because when you are shooting at 5 feet, the intensity of the flash is more, then you need a smaller aperture. When the flash travels from 5 feet to 10 feet, the intensity diminishes, then you have to open up again. Then when it travels to around 15 feet, again the intensity diminishes, then you got to open up your aperture again accordingly, according to the guide number which is given by the flash manufacturer. You have to test it out first. Before you take it on field for your assignments, test it out and then use it. Knowing the importance of flash, most of the digital cameras which come in now come up with a small pop-up flash which you can use in an emergency situation. Pop-up flashes will light up to maybe 5 feet, 12 to around 12 feet. It could be effective. So, most of the modern cameras, digital cameras come up with a pop-up flash. The external flashes are mounted onto the camera by a hot shoe which is on top of the camera. You mount the external flash onto the hot shoe and they would be a direct connection. So, as soon as you press the shutter release button, the flash would go off. We will now see how to use the flash in daylight as a fill-in light. The first photograph you see is a portrait of a person taken around 5:30, 5:45 in the evening, when the shadows, you see a lot of shadows, the bright light is not very bright, the shadows on him, shadows on his face. So, it is not very pleasing. The subject here is a person standing before the camera and not the background. So, I would use a flash as a fill-in light to fill in the shadows in his neck, in his face, under his eyes. So, I am going to flash and this is the picture. The background colors are retained, the background tone is retained, the background exposure is retained, but the person standing in front has got lit by the flash and the shadows on his face is now removed by the flash. So, this is how you use the flash as a fill-in light, as additional to daylight. That is why it is called a fill-in light. It is not the main light. The main light, of course, is the daylight over here. Daylight lights up the trees, lights up the background, lights up the person also to a certain extent. Because the person's face is in shadow, I use the flash as an additional fill-in light. So, this is called fill-in flash. We will now move indoors and learn how to use the flash as a straight flash and a bounce flash. This is using the flash head-on straight flash, a flash on its person straight, and you see shadows over there, see shadows on the wall, even on the face. It is very contrasty. Now, I am going to bounce a flash. I am going to bounce a flash on the ceiling. From the ceiling, it will reflect onto the person. Look at that. Look at the wall. There is no shadow on the wall now. The shadow on the wall is gone. The face is also softer. It is not harsh. It becomes soft. And the comparison between the two pictures, where you have harsh shadows over there, there is no shadow here. The face is harsh, and the face is the light has become softer on the face. So, this is the advantage in using a bounce flash other than a straight flash.
The inputs that we have received on the use of flash will really help you in your journey of getting photographs when the light is not sufficient. Be it outdoors or indoors, the flash can be a useful tool if the light levels are low. But I hope that you have understood how to use a flash to get a desired effect, and how the wrong use of the flash could get you a certain effect, a certain lighting, which you think is not appropriate for your image. So, whenever you have the opportunity, do try and use the flash and see how it can be useful to you in difficult circumstances.